Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting day in general of Free Enterprise. Today we have Baron Zero's Journey. It's me, Alchemy, the one that made the club, the one that made all of these terrible, wonderful flag sets. Today we're joined by Cid Hero, which Scala has decided to show off as a Mega Man Cid. Thank you, here on the layout. And I'm joined by Deathlike. What's up, Deathlike?
It's a good day to talk about Free Enterprise and a good classic character. I think so. I really haven't been in one of these. I think this is probably the first one I've done, and I've character themed is pretty cool. So Cid's start is always interesting. With it'd be nice if we can curse him. But right now he's still a very solid early game character. So we'll probably talk about more of his utility during the stream.
Yeah, and there's some interesting like fiction in as a hero set, especially with a mandatory forge objective, because all of the Cid forge weapons are obscenely good. So you have to choose between cursing him or putting a crystal ring on him or something to make him deal big damage in the end game with the big forge weapon.
Yeah, I look forward to the forge weapon because obviously forge weapons are pretty strong. Pretty much fixes a lot of issues with characters that don't have a good end game weapon in the vanilla game. So when we consider that, I'm for I'm for like the hammers, but if the gigantic axe essentially is available, if there's a Kane or Cecil that shows up, they can also make use of it. So particularly Kane, because Kane's weapons he needs a little help. So I think if there's a Kane available, Kane will have a second life if a gigantic axe has. So you can kind of move the axe to Kane. But even not factoring that, Cid with a gigantic is pretty good either way.
Oh yeah, it depends on whether the weapon is a hammer or an axe, but also depends on what other weapons you find, because maybe you're okay with a defense sword king, or maybe not because you don't have a defense sword. Or Wafu Soya start, huh? Whoa.
The kits are really helpful, especially I think with the Dwarf X as part of the third kit. Really nifty. If for any reason you think Cid is going to be your anchor, Dwarf X helps a bit. It's like a mini curse ring. The most important stat to reduce is agility, because he's the anchor, and your agility affects all the things, especially with this food. This nice kind of elderly duo. This is going to be a lot of fun.
the uncle duo here to wreak havoc in the overworld and blow up everything.
I would be just as happy with Nutella. But this scene will probably be going really fast. But we'll literally go out of way just to power Cid. I'm sorry, power Fu. That's it. Cid will probably do most of the work for now. You're not really needing. It's kind of like Edge early game. You just kind of let him smash and call it a day. I think the early Ogre Axe is strong enough. No bonuses. Dwarf Axe, a little weaker, but also it does have a nice attack power bonus, offset by the speed deficit. So it's those two weapons are kind of a good tool set for Cid. All you worry about is axes and hammers, and if you're really spicy, let's go bow and arrow.
In the vanilla game, Artemis is the best SN slot for Cid, so absolutely. But with the Key 2 Cid and Key 3 Dwarf, Cid has all the firepower he needs to deal with the entire overworld early game. And like we see Fusoya here, and that means that Zero likes his song. But the thing is that song, to offset the distinct 8, there are only 8 characters here. So we'll see which other characters we're gonna get.
No, I think if I were like in say Possum shoes, and Cid might be in the same boat, but you kind of have all the tools to not require any particular characters at this point. If you get a character, you just want to maybe a Cecil or a more dedicated white mage or black mage to counterbalance Fu's kind of magic limitations in terms of MP. As you know, he's stuck at that 190 regardless of level until like level 70, and by then you probably should have finished the seed by then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, with a powerful forged weapon, you can quote unquote power couple Zeromus with Fusoya and a Cid. But we'll see which characters will drop. Having a dedicated white mage might be a great idea. Oh.
You know, it seems like this is so themed. We've got elementals on the brain. We did Turtle. Wow. We've got Hair. We've got Val, and then we've done elements. So
and Kainazo was a Mist Cave. So wow, it's in the elemental fiends are attacking the world. Imagine if this was hacking like objective fiends, like game mode fiends.
That would have been nice. I mean, Cid does get to face one of them, Val being the vanilla fight that Cid does actually face. So that's although after Turtle locked him up. So I mean, there's some revenge that that was had earlier this seed. So that I'm happy for.
Yeah. So Palom home. And it seems that both Possum and Tybalt see that Palom when they go, heck yeah, we're quacking.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Quake Kid. Well, yeah, okay, after Quake, there's like kind of a big giant. It can't really get that much better until Nuke. But, the utility of Quake is, there's so many, like, less tough bosses that just Quake succumbs to, and although there's a few bosses Quake Kid isn't effective against, like Plague or Mylon Zed being the sneakiest of them all. Sometimes if you even just for a grind, quick early virus is just as important. So it's hard to like say no to that early game utility that you kind of want to speed up. Especially, I mean, yeah, you got Fu, but Fu's got better things to do with his MP, like Nuke.
Yeah, and also the other thing is that no elements isn't on. So yeah, and the History Pro. So our racers might wanna do some trap chest hunting, spelunking, and check out to see if they get lucky with some trap chests. And Quake is very effective at dealing with most trap chests.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably not gonna be doing a Scythe Cape. This is J spells. So we got learn to spell. So that also. That really nerfs Rosa and Rydia quite a bit. So Earth Crystal. But we're going to Zot. Zot's required. So let's go. Let's go. I think and we'll definitely need we'll see some equipment. Hoping for maybe some stat sticks at least on the way up. I think this you see Earth Crystal, you might as well go there and pick up a couple more characters since we have no free characters. And what I mean by free characters is you can't just there are locations where like say going to Damsian, finding the Edward spot. That's a free character. The waterways. That's a free character. So those are we're saying no. You're gonna have to at least fight a boss. At the minimum, fight a boss or get a key item to access that character. So that's a thing.
Not only that. Well, we're gonna play everyone's favorite game, Rate That Treasury, and the rating was not very good from what we saw.
Ice brand over 10. That is my rating.
I mean, I saw Gagnir. That's
well, that's character not in Cid yet.
Crystal Crystal Armor was pretty good for selling because it's as well, so you might find something real nice, but it's sell quarter.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that affected the treasury, unfortunately, was T Pro, and T Pro it's not terrible. I mean, the elixirs are nice, so I mean, we're desperate for a Fu to heal up Fu, you know, because he has limited MP. You know, there's total utility, but like for other things, that wasn't the most desirable treasury ever seen.
Yeah. But also, I believe that we saw in Possomorpheus' side, I believe he defeated Demonist. Kano Freeze on. So he might be, routing in the checking like Radia's mom after this. Because after you beat Sod, you get deposited in Baron.
Yeah, certainly worth routing in. I don't... Probably not as critical, although wait, this guy, he's not on the moon. It's not. Why Zot? Why not the moon? I don't understand the Antlion traveling habits.
Well, it is very nice that you have two casters with you, because boy oh boy, the punching and countering might be real annoying otherwise.
I'm not so threatened by Antlion. Oh yeah, Cid is Cid. I think that's the problem with Cid is unlike like say Kane or Yang, who has a command that can kind of get away from the fight command. Yeah, Cid does have that problem. Not a huge deal though. You have, I mean,
nope.
Fu mops up every Cid. That's why he is the mop. Just
nice. I never thought about it that way, but I like it.
Yeah, I have jokes for I have more jokes, but it's he does have hair for days, and that's a spicy option in Edge. I wonder who there's a fair chance it's Vanilla Rosa, but it might be Porm. Yeah, there's always that. So, but this spicy Edge, I don't think we found any Hanzo Steel yet, though.
No, Tybalt found the full moon, I believe, in a chest in the waterway, but I think that's the best we've seen for Edge. That's a king, huh? Wait, no, that's a Cecil.
Yeah, that's. I think right now. I'm thinking of considering eating Cecil, because that means the trip to Mount deals. Do we do we have to the kind of thing? So
I don't know. Wow.
I'm thinking
Possum
of eating
has the full party already. Possum has said yes, let's go. And I don't know. I think I wouldn't be so cavalier about taking all of these offensive characters. And like we still have Dwarf Castle, we still have Baron Castle. Those could be white mages, but the Possum says no. I want my party anyway now, and let's go.
Well, this is an objective, so the two characters will have to pick up regardless because he had the open spot. Tybalt has decided there might be something on that mountain, and unfortunately held up by Dr. Dialogue. He has lots to say, and I think it's more like slapstick comedy with Dr. Ligue.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is like literally the only flag set that is in permajoint. Never mind. Whoops. We see Edge coming in handy immediately by darting right at CPU's face, avoiding the wall. Lovely.
Yeah, like anything to get rid of the CPU is kind of a godsend. Who wants this? like all it knows is one thing: wall itself up and letting the minions do the work. And then when it's alone, big round objects hit our characters and they hurt very much. Globe 1999 doesn't care for you, especially at that spot. Would be devastating, but Possum knows exactly just to dispatch that CPU pretty quickly. And the key item, which is only the other reason why to do this, because we still need underground access, and now we get a stat stick.
I mean, that is the best statistics. And Shadow's on table side for throwing Boreas at Rubicante until he goes away. Excellent use of key items there.
It's also Elements Day, apparently, because that spot is Mylon Zed's spot to shine, but heck no, it's
Mylon.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Elements like to take turns, and Cid will fight by himself. No, it should be no problem. Although there might be a few interesting things that show up, and I think we get no free bosses. Oh, what is this, vanilla?
Legend. I love me some vanilla. And I love me some Half a Forge. And I love me a Luna Sparkle. That is D Lunars. Well, I think you can deal with this.
Yeah, it should be one-hit kills. As long as you're doing over 500 damage, should be fine. With a Cure 2,
no, I don't think Cure 2 is not gonna cut it. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Oh, speaking of vanilla, those are cards at the Burning.
Did you really want more vanilla than there is?
I'm fine with it.
And that's a lot.
There he is! There he is!
Speaking of the undead, Mylon Zed shows up right perfectly where we need him, and Yang at the end of that trip. So, possibly DKC and Yang. I'm gonna just guess that we'll just need Cecil, hope for the Yang. We do need to get all the goals, so considering that Monarchios is, I guess, hard required because of the Legend Sword, we do need to do Forge, so yeah, that's a thing.
There is the hook. I believe this is gonna be a hook seed unless you have a magma key behind Twin Harp. But I don't think either of our racers might check Twin Harp hoping for a magma key. That seems like a desperate gamble.
We have. I mean, Fate Harp is a thing. That's people root for.
But here's the thing: it is an objective, right? So you wanna do it at some point, but there's some fiction there of like, I want to do it later when I have more power. My big power are 2 casters, and that spot has a lot of magic defense. I don't even have good gear for edge, so it might. You want to save it for later instead of gambling that magma key might be there.
I think it's worth gambling. No, I think if you have, we still have the power with food to probably deal. I'm not sure. I don't think we've learned Nuke yet, but I think
no.
But Fu and with Quake Kid, as long as he reaches Quake level 23, is more than enough. So I don't think it's a matter of power. And Possum remembers, oh yeah, we killed D Mist. So if we get a free bonus key item, at least opportunity, and we'll maybe check what's at the Sand Ruby, because not right now. I don't think, probably not desperate for another character, but hoping maybe for a white mage. It would be the only reason why just doing it.
Yeah, white mage will be the #1 reason for taking that. Also there are some more shops there, and we are under S Wild, so we were talking about Edge. There might be some ninja swords for sale down at the Kaipo. So it might be worth doing a shop check on top of that. We'll see. Yeah, Possum is doing them. Makes sense.
It's actually worth looking for a weapon. I think longsword's probably I don't remember what tier is, like 3 or 4. It's probably...
Longswords? I think swords are 4. Yeah.
So
and ninja's 5.
We do have shop wild, so we can actually, as long as we have the money, we can afford even ninja swords.
Power classes.
Yeah, but those hourglass 3s are pretty petty though. I think when it doesn't matter, just any hourglasses will do though.
Ninja shirt. Is possibly gonna exit without checking the character? No. Yes? Or did he check and I totally missed it?
I think he skipped and I don't think he cared too much. Probably because I mean he hasn't done ordeals yet, so it might be a place to go anyways to kind of get Paladin Cecil online. So that might, I mean, if you're at this point, this is gonna be some shopping. I think the pass is at a shop this time, so there is incentive to actually visit every item shop available, especially the Toria shop, where there's two of them. So you have two opportunities to get, and we find an Avenger, but
Avenger, yummy. Coffins, huh? I mean, here's the thing. You get the Paladin Cecil, but you don't have weapons for Paladin Cecil. Like, what do we have? A nice brand? I mean, there's that Avenger, but are you gonna spend like that much money on that Avenger? Also, I believe that was Poro or one of the twins at Kaipo bed. Did anyone in chat catch that?
It's probably I think it's like C Relax. I think it's distinct, so it has to be Porum because we got Palom. It has to be the other twin. So,
I mean, yeah, but there are dupes. Since it's distinct 8, there are dupes. They just want to join your party, but so it could be a duplicate Palom.
Probably would if it's a duplicate Palom. That just be you already. That was the quickest pickup, so probably not worth the time.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, at this point, you could I would consider right now Fu to be your white mage. Just we probably might have to see a grind for a Quake Kid to Nuke Kid. That might have to happen. So. Or unless we find another character, maybe a Berserker to replace replace Palom, maybe would have to be a Kane at this point, and or the Yang that might have been yeeted at the Vanilla Baron in place. So those are probably on the table. I think there's a replacement for Palom if we're thinking of not getting Palom to nuke level, which is level 52.
And Fusuya does have a weak, but are you gonna do a D-Machine grind with the Vanilla Giant on when it's not an objective? Ooh, that is the big main question. You're better off trying to find Sirens, of course, but even then, it's like, do you really want to grind so much when you can have Fusoya filling in Berserks and heal and Q4s, Bacchus ones if you find them?
Well, with shops being wild, the Sirens can be anywhere. So that's not. I mean, and we also have Edge, so we can still steal them if we are not gonna go shopping for it. So we actually have options. Those are like if. D-Machine sounds good until it's a waste of time.
Power shirts at Troya Armor Shop, as well as the black belts, and there's the Ninja Blades, but those are so obscenely expensive. I believe it's like one of the most expensive tier 5 items alongside the light sword. It's so expensive, and you want 2 of them to boot.
The cheaper? Mostly for selfish reasons, but because you have to buy a pair to be effective. So,
yeah,
you can have a strong sword and a weaker weapon, but they average they're additive, so they effectively kind of average out. So if they're stronger, then they're additively much more strong. But you can get away with it, I think you said earlier, Tybalt found a full moon. So if you shoot a full moon, you're pretty much you're set. You're like, and that's end game power territory. I mean, it's not the strongest, but you're pretty much there. Whereas Possum would have to like buy a pair of them because two short katanas are not worth writing about. So it's kind of behooves you to find like a cheap second weapon, whereas a long sword, a full moon, a mute knife, those would be sufficient.
Yeah, I think ninja full moon is, it's I think it's about like a defense sword king or something like that. It's like barely there for end game because of the accuracy of the full moon. It's like a little worse than a normal ninja sword. But yeah, but Edge gets there with those two. Ooh, it seems that Tybalt is going on ahead and doing the harp check right now. Interesting. Here's the gamble.
It's a good time as any. I mean, this shouldn't be difficult given the characters at this point. Tybalt has decided. I don't see a DKC, so it's a yay because that. Tybalt's already done ordeal, so that's it. Interesting, probably because haven't found free holy sword yet, so that probably is driving the decision at this point.
Well, another set of hourglasses, an guard. That's real nice. Oh boy, an Excalibur and a light sword right next to each other. But it's still quarter. What are you gonna do? Oh, but it's time for me to go quiet because we're gonna be delighted by the sweet tunes of DJ Cid Pollendina, as we like to call him.
Dolls. They ruined the music.
I freaked out when I heard the music play, but then it was like, oh, hold on, they're still frogs.
Yeah, but the music changes independent of the
apparently, yeah.
But we found, that's that moment where, you do your objectives. You get the next objective, so you have to do Baron. So it's working a little bit better out for Tybalt right now, though probably makes sense to just do Zot having the Earth Crystal in hand. So do that, then do Baron right immediately. This is ideal routing. I'm not sure if that will happen, but we'll see quickly. That said, oh yep, it's definitely happening. Let's see, with there are other some interesting things going on. We have just looking over what Wyvern, if it shows up, his Witch Burn. So surprise at what type of Blarg, what Blarg is coming at you this time.
We see Possum Morpheus going on ahead and checking out Airborne Castle. He's looting Airborne Castle as opposed to T-Ball, which who looted the waterway. And we'll see if he gets any decent rewards out of this.
I mean, when you have we have berserkers in your party, particularly Cecil and Edge. You kind of need some sort of power up for them, and so this is kind of like, not say desperation, more like kind of a necessary evil. You kind of really need that. Don't want to pay the exorbitant prices to buy the weapon outright. How about let the monsters drop it? And no, still second chest. No, that's a no. And well, this should be quick. Vanilla chest. Are we gonna get Drain Spirit just to collect the set, just for fun?
Cat Claw is real nice though. If you find another one at a shop, Cat Claw, Jang, I don't know, a power shirt or on his gauntlets. That guy really tears things apart at a game with double Cat Claw Yang. I will be partial to that, honestly. Instead of buying a ton of spending a ton of money on that Edge. That was real fast. Did you catch what that was?
It's a power shirt.
Oh, nice.
So worth it, but still not a weapon. That is the kind of the issue. It's like, yeah, it's cool. I love it. Except I still need the weapon. I don't know what Possum's equipped on Cecil's. Probably the Ogre Axe. Maybe gave some the Dwarf Axe like that. But right now it's not looking appealing. I think it's really just kind of more of when you're looking for treasures, trap chests, you're really just looking for the good drop. And considering that shops are wild, regardless of whether shops are wild, the exorbitant prices, you still need high tier equipment to sell at high tier prices, regardless of being escorted or not. So this is, it's a value proposition.
Indeed. And there goes Yang in favor of Cecil, surprising no one. I mean, Cecil is just hands down the best fighter in the game for multiple reasons, so it makes sense, not having him in your party is huh? You gotta have a Cecil. But the other party members are, you can give or take them, tense. Oh, no, Star Veils. Possum bought some Star Veils. That's clever of him.
Yeah, I mean, your only source of reflect is Fu, and that is not an ideal situation, especially if you ever considered vanilla Bahamut, you typically want 2 wall casters, so having a stack of veils pretty handy for the impending Blarg that might show up, or other bosses that would use reflex tracks on, Jura. So although that in that case Fu would be a better solution. I don't know if Fu's learned Wall quite yet though.
And it seems that Possum Morpheus has decided that instead of going down the hook route, he's gonna go ahead and take his chances at the Twin Heart check. We know that this is not only required, but also it is double required because it drops the Brown Key. So good move, Possum. Do the objectives.
Yeah, I think it's more like kind of no further routing options on the overworld. So you might as well do it before attempting to do the hook route. Obviously we know that it's a hook route, but you never as a runner, you would never know if it was Magnus. You're kind of hoping, can we avoid the hook route? And this seed said no.
And we have a reprise of a wonderful tune from Tales of Symphonia. Please enjoy. And that's the doll summarily dealt with. It seems like Tybalt is going on ahead and looting the fall of Avalon Castle as well. Might just be looking for those prep chests because, you know, he tried buying the Excalibur at the card shop and no dice, too much money. So this might be an attempt to fish a Holy Sword for Cecil. We'll see.
We kind of do have a pretty idea. I mean, Possum did the same rating, so we know it's not gonna prove too fruitful. Power Short will be the best of the bunch, but still not. Probably will come to the same conclusion. This castle not as useful as it could be, but Power Shirt always good. Regardless, I think Possum is now concluding to do definitely doing Baron checks. Hope should be a character and you consider if there is a white mage, not guaranteed, but if it's Porum or Rosa, there might be a thought to might be getting thought of maybe removing Edge or Cecil. That sounds like, well, why would you consider that? Well, you're right now. So far, we haven't found really any really good gear for either in terms of offensive, and that's what would kind of dictate whether you keep a character or not. And right now, it doesn't there hasn't been anything good as of yet. And I think we know that the Cat Claw is one of the little treasures of that. Tybalt will probably have a different decision, obviously, but Possum having Yi to the Yang, that's probably that might not be in the equation, or at least not in the immediate equation. Maybe probably considering a slingshot in the later for late grind, but right now it's one of those things on the table. Do we need to eat one of them in order to have a more useful character at the current moment?
I mean, honestly, my idea would be, I just have to find another Cat Claw for Yang, and I save up money for that Excalibur for Cecil. And I honestly ditch Edge. I ditch Edge for that Yang. And I just smack things around with 2 Cat Claws Yang and the Power Shirt and that Excalibur. And I think that's a pretty good fix for the TPS situation. Because Cid is gonna get a good weapon sooner or later. But Edge, you have to dish out a lot of cash for Edge, or get lucky. And same for Cecil. And if I'm gonna pick Cecil over Edge.
Yeah, there is a thing. Yeah, when you have to have 2 for Edge to be really online. And hey, is that Blarg? I don't know. No, we don't know what it is yet, but we'll find out just right now. And no rope.
That's a very nice place to find Ogopogo. That's wonderful. Yeah, I love to see it.
It just reminds you of Kinazo. This, we need to flood the castle. That's why we replace one water beast with another. That's how the game logic says, right? Right? No?
I mean, just cleaning the castle. Just cleaning the castle. Use some water. Have you ever had a feeling it's like, ugh, I have to clean. I wish I could get a gosh darn hose and just go like psh, all over the place and not have to clean. But no, you gotta clean. Maybe that's what they're doing. Yeah, Final Fantasy IV Power Wash Simulator. Yeah.
Yes. Ogopogo, Leviathan, Kanazo, Power Wash Simulator Heroes. Sounds like a game.
So, that was a duplicate Yang. We don't really care about Yang so far, says Possum Morpheus. Bye bye. I honestly, I seriously believe that Yang is a possibility in your party as long as you haven't done a grind yet. The moment you grind, your party is set, even with the catch-up mechanics. Shoutouts to Tybalt buying one singular Moonveil. And shoutouts to Possum Morpheus for finding one singular Zeus gauntlets. Those are really useful.
It's interesting. I mean, giving a lot of the power to Edge. Kind of a little off topic, but are you Power Shirt Edge or Power Rope Edge or Ninja Rope Edge? What is your stance on that? I am very biased towards Ninja Shirt. Yeah, it's not more power. Power Shirt obviously it helps a lot, but I don't know about you, but I like Edge when he is still standing long term, not just for big bangs, but also for really big punches from a lot of the tougher bosses.
I don't know. I'm personally leaning towards Power Shirt Edge because I like the idea of a shirt. I don't know. I was imagining the Power Shirt. It's like a shirt but with abs drawn on it or something. And I really like the idea of Edge thinking he's like hot stuff wearing that shirt, but no, he's not. He's still like a big doofus. But also, I like offense in these games. Yes.
I like offense too. I think for me, I think at least in terms of maybe not in terms of like, obviously Power Shirt is generally regarded as better, but I would say is if you have a Power Shirt and a Ninja Shirt and an Edge, and if there's another Berserker who doesn't have a Power Shirt equipped, there's a benefit to giving Edge the Ninja Shirt and giving the other character a Power Shirt. Just in terms of like it balances out in terms of equipment, and if you find another Power Shirt, obviously you can give it to Edge eventually. It's more of you have two better equipped characters than just one stronger character.
I can agree to that for sure. Yeah, it's better to spread out the power. I mean, most of the time, it's better to spread out the power than to have a single powerful character, because that way you don't get like dead turns. You want everyone to do some, to pitch in a significant amount of damage instead of having to parry, attack, parry, attack. So spreading the damage around is generally a good call, in my opinion.
I think Possum's trying to get to Fu, so it can use weak Dark Elf. The second form, kind of like a Dark Dragon of sorts, does not have the boss bit, which is very kind of one of the important facts. So the first form has the boss bit, so weak is not applicable. So hey, virus happened. GG.
There we go. Now, is this anything? Ooh, just an apple. Gold apple at that, but just an apple. Not even worth all the gear that he looted from Baron Castle. Because if I recall correctly, you can't exit from Baron Castle, and that's a big annoyance. So he decided to take the reset instead.
There are, I mean, I think there's probably like a bit set for each location, like each part of location where you can, whether you can use exit, and probably another bit for whether you can use warp. Those are separate things, and so yeah, not castle being some sort of magically shielded from other magic, including exit. No, you can't. You can't escape. Although it is tied to the path from the Baron side can be tied into this, so probably a safe thing to not being able to exit from that side. No, although it's just design decisions. Who knows why things are the way they are.
Yup, indeed. And Pastor Morpheus deciding, okay, I've done literally everything in the overworld. It is time to go down here and deal with the hook route. But now he has some depth levels, he has some equipment. He can deal with whatever the game throws at him, especially with that Fu in tow. There are the sirens, and there's a pass, conveniently one next to the other.
So, just because Possum is a gentleman, he decided, hey, 99 carats, because it's a meme. I don't. There's no logical reason, but it's really cheap. The carrots will not kill your budget. So if you want your carrots, you can buy them in bulk. They just won't be any cheaper.
Yeah. There was an Artemis bow, which is, aside from Forge, best in slot for Cid, and also some ribbons, which could be useful for if we find gold bears at any point.
Yeah, I think ribbons. I don't go out of my way to buy them unless it's like at the Forge. Probably. Those are pretty pricey. Not quite like Excalibur or Crystal Sword pricey, but I think at this point it's worth saving that money. I mean, if they're all spent in sirens, I'd be happier with sirens than a ribbon. But we don't need second old man. I think it's not even second. It's more like kind of like third. You got Fu, you got Cid. I don't. It's not that we don't want another old man. It's that we already have a lot of the functionality in Fu. So, and we can easily make Cid an anchor, or even Pelham if we find a curse ring. So there are plenty of anchor options, and we don't need like the fourth one in Possum's team.
I mean, even that, it's Cid Heroes, so Cid is gonna be the anchor no matter what. And on top of that, it's just nothing that Tela can do, but in this scenario, Fusoya can do this better. So there's that. I would say that I really enjoy personally. I really enjoy the friction that the T Pro as well the Silkwater gives, because yeah, you can buy sirens, but that's gonna cost you. Wouldn't you want to buy that Excalibur? Wouldn't you want to buy those ninja swords? Wouldn't you want to buy this or that? So hey, maybe do some D-Machine grind. It's called D-Money for a reason, and get a lot of cash. But hey, what's that? Vanilla Giant. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna loot for sirens? Are you gonna loot for equipment? Or are you gonna spend that time that you will spend looting, doing a D-Machine grind instead of doing a siren grind, but also having to deal with CPU and elements. So there's a lot of ways to approach a seed like that, which is why the reason I did it.
I'm trying to remember if D-Machines actually gave money.
Oh yeah, for sure they do.
It's one of those things that like I know they're always there for the XP. I don't know. I'm more a little more biased to say the Gold Dragon, the two King Ryu grind. That I mean you can use the life glitch. That life glitch is on, and they're pretty harmless. I know Possums definitely bought some hourglasses, like hourglass 3s. Those were pretty pricey, but those were definitely, you just need an hourglass and does a lot of the work for you. And hey, pretty harmless boss in a pretty harmless spot. Well, I mean, not too harmless, but Fu, again, mops up every seed.
Indeed. And what was that? That was like a floating eye or something? Well, it used to be one by. Soya and Nuke solved the seed, and I don't think Amalgam Friends is gonna be another. Wow, this is really reminiscent of one Phoenix seed that happened once. I think it was like Legacy or some such. Well, it was like a dark matter hunt, but also fiends. And I believe Shala Kitty pulled me aside, like, hey, this turned like, oh no, it was Slapdash. This turned out to be like dark matter hunts. Are you sure you want to do it? And then, we found all the elemental fiends in the overworld, and we just went directly to Seramus. It was like dark matters were nothing. It was so funny, and this is reminding me of that.
Hey, that's why we have multiple options, to finishing a seed. When there's a seed where you could only need a certain number of objectives, and you don't have to do dark matter, that like not hard required dark matter. That's nice. I don't mind looting, but dark matter hunts, those are. At least it's one of those. I have to loot everything. It's actually depending on the treasure setting. Like T Wild or T Wildish is fine, but if it's like T Pro, then dark matter hunts don't seem so appealing.
T Wild dark matter hunt. Hey, that sounds actually kind of fun because the issue with T Wild, it's like I gotta loot and I don't know what I'm gonna get. This sucks. I could get anything from tier 1 to tier 8. It's like, but with dark matters, you're gonna loot anyways because you have to, because of the objective. So there's that, like, I don't wanna like jinx it, but kind of like a loot boxy feeling of, what am I gonna get? I'm not looting because I'm harding for equipment. I'm looting because I have to for dark matter. Here comes the spark of inspiration. I guess I'll have to sit down and figure that flag set up like that. Thank you.
Yeah, loot boxes. Unless you're getting them for free, that's a different story. If you're spending money for it, that's for sure. Although I think peaking, there was a karate at the Dr. Luque spot, so we do have a Cecil. Although I think free bosses is not on, so I think we still have to eat all his HP at that spot.
And let's see what Morpheus does first in the underground. Well, straight down for the Fame Arch. There's a freebie and there's an objective down there. You have to Soya, you have a team of level 30s. Are you gonna be able to do it? We'll see what is there.
When you have a Fu, you're pretty much practically ready. Like a Nuke, I'm pretty sure Nuke was learned, so there should be no issue in terms of firepower. The question is survivability, and if you're using Fu to use blink on everyone, then you're considering survivability and you're foregoing firepower. So it kind of depends on the bosses. So, and I think with this party and Quake Kid is online, more should be enough power. The question is, what bosses are there to kind of mitigate the power you have? There are bosses that will kind of test your power. Like King Spot, very dangerous if you find a punchy boss. I think there are a few bosses left on the table that we haven't seen, such like Evil Wall, everyone's favorite boss, and they're still looking for loot. So that's what happens when you're looking for a big stick.
Yep. Here's Possum doing an agility setup with the sheer confidence of this man. doing an agility setup, RA1 or 2 with Fusoya, dropping that Quake and erasing the warrior's chest for 2 levels each, and a chance at some good equipment, which I don't think it was good because I missed it.
It's a Zeus gauntlet. Yes, we will give you everything.
That was good.
More power, but not sticks. No big sticks.
More power. It's always good, but not good enough if you don't have something to use those multipliers on with, rather.
And still not fighting inventory boss. Flex sword, nope. Archer, nope. So, yeah, always get to occasionally clear out, sell for your self money. Even though X-Quarters on, I think silver armor is like what 17,000. Normally quarters 4,000 ish, and of course inventory boss reminder just given to Possum. Sell your stuff. Yeah, then oftentimes when you loot, there is a lot of junk.
Yep. I wonder if Possum is saving up for anything in particular, or if he's just like selling stuff, because he keeps looting. Ooh, a white shirt is real nice for that Fusoya to bump up his willpower stat to make him a really effective white mage. Artemis arrows are lovely. He bought a stack. Interesting. I don't think Possum has a good bow, but it might be a good idea just to have him for that effective damage against dragons.
Well, we have a bow, not the bow we want, but the bow we have. So I think so. The archer, I definitely don't think he bought an Artemis bow. So I think he's still saving up. He's saving up for the X-Cal. I think that's the thing we're seeing here. So Jura.
That's really bad. That's really, really bad.
Is it? This is free. He bought the stack of Star Veils on this side, so this is Bahamut's free.
Yeah, Bahamut's free. Bahamut is just gonna give you XP, which is really nice.
I think we're just looking for the loot. Maybe a key, maybe the Darkness Crystal. This is I think K Summon is on, so this is might as well do it. And Azure at that spot, she just punches a little harder, but only when you punch. So it's more. I think both. This is actually free-ish for the most part.
Yeah, and in case of Asura, it's big-ish. It's like all caps-ish.
It'll hurt.
With quotations.
It'll hurt, but again, only if she punches back if you damage her. So it's not it's fair-ish. So I think
that is true. You can just set up blinks because you do have Fusoya, and Fusoya has blink. So you can set up the blinks and just keep attacking. But that's the thing, you can't life lock her by using blinks. So you just have to also use wall on her, which Fusoya should also have. It's definitely doable, but it's gonna take a while for sure. Do you do it now that you're down here, or do you do it, afterwards, having to take another trip down the Free March?
Well, I've been usually, going for a trip to Free March. The question usually becomes, do you want to take this on now? Given an edge, I would like to try to get him to image, which is essentially a self blink, like the illusion item, and then that's a free blink that Fu doesn't have to do.
True. That's a good call. Seems that Possum shares our idea of doing them later and bailed out of the Free March. But that's an objective. You know what's down there, so you just gotta find the adamant stone, which could be behind Asura. Hopefully it isn't, but we have seen an objective leading into another already. So we'll see.
Just cash in the pink tail we picked up. Adamants aren't removed. We get free adamant. Then Azure is technically free-ish. You just have to get the wall on her, and you're all set.
Indeed, that is a great call. Being able to basically ignore all physical damage with the adamant armor. Almost completely ignore it. Oh, and speaking of, there it is. And there's the other cut claw I was talking about. There's the other cut claw. It's not even that expensive in the grand scheme of things. Grab that cut claw. Grind up Yang. I'm telling you, you have a ton of Sus gauntlets and stuff and power shirts. You can do it. IMO.
I think, Yang, I think to getting him, you have to consider like 2 cat claws, if you say you buy it outright, is the same as, a light sword, the cost of light sword, or a Gungnir. There's quite significant value for Yang. Like, you don't have to spend too much. You just have to spend guarantee 60,000 for 2 cat claws, and your weapon issues are set for Yang. There are all additional benefits that he actually punches harder. He goes faster. I mean, there's cat claw. Of all the kind of end game weapons, gets Yang to where he needs to be outside of still needs to gain levels much quicker than pretty much any other character. Even Cecil. Like, Cecil requires 1 good drop. Kane needs 1 good drop. So there's just that. So right now, and Possum's on the same wavelength. Cash in that pigtail.
I don't know if Tybalt and Possum have sold the cat claws they picked up at Evelyn Castle, though. If they have, the proposition of Yang might be less tantalizing. But regardless, here's that adamant armor. This is the solution for the Asura fight. We still, however, have to find the adamant rock in order to forge. And that could be anywhere. That could be at Sylph Cave. That could be up in the moon, in the Tower of Babel. That could be anywhere.
I see Tybalt with an Avenger. I don't think this was picked up anywhere. It must have been from the shop. So
it might have been from the shop at Miss City, yeah. I think it was. Yeah.
So at this point, even if Tybalt did find the Excal, Avenger's still going to be the endgame weapon. Ultimately, not. Probably mostly for the glitch. May not even think of, hey, I got the Adventure, I found the Excal, I'll buy it. No. I think at that point that's just too much, and especially with T-Pro on, it's probably not going to find any valuable treasures for sale. You have to go for key item locations where they, instead of dropping the key item, getting a decent sellable piece of equipment. So I think Tybalt's committed to that Avenger.
And like Mr. Bus Drivers points out in chat, Cecil can use the Gigant Axe if that drops at the forge. But here's the thing. Here's the cool thing. With Avenger, you can equip the Gigant Axe on Cecil, swap the Avenger in. Cecil keeps the stats of the Gigant Axe as he uses his Berserk, and then you put the Gigant Axe back on Cid. You almost duplicate the effects of the Gigant Axe, and you have 2 really powerful fighters. As long as Cecil keeps swinging, of course, and he doesn't get downed.
I think Black Hole does reset his stats.
It does.
Still, it's kind of cheating, but it's not. It's glitching.
It's not cheating.
It's a feature.
Cool.
It's a feature.
I believe the correct word will be exploit.
it's a good exploit. But unfortunately, from Cid's hero options, you only have a 1 out of 3 chance. He has 2 ultimate hammers as well, Thor's hammer and the fiery hammer. So
wow.
Getting that is a 1 out of 3 chance.
So that is objective number 5 for Tybalt, but it seems that it was just a bomb. It was not a progression. It seems that Posomorpheus thinks he's playing full Wario. Like, he's just like getting trap chests. I mean, hey, if it drops a good weapon, it drops a good weapon, and it's levels. But that's just an assassin dagger. Oof.
Well, it's gonna solve two things: hoping for for a free Excal or Crystal, or maybe even an Avenger. But really, it's a secondary grind. This is
True.
we don't think of Sylph Cave and grind very often, but when you really need the loot but also want to gain XP, this is kind of the route. And hey, remember the Artemis arrows he bought? Well, we found the bot.
Nice. Jacer in chat telling us that a black hole doesn't reset the stats if using the Avenger glitch. Otherwise, Dream Avenger wouldn't work. That is a fair point. I didn't think about Dream Avenger. That's fair.
It does. I think it does reset certain things.
Yeah,
so
yeah, but
there's really attack power that gets reset. So we're talking about like if you take glitch a crystal sword, you'll start having regular damage. So Drain Avenger, I think, it's probably just a property. It's probably forgetting to reset. It's most likely resetting stats, just not all of them. The weapon properties. Sometimes, not everything is perfect.
It seems that Tybalt is like, searching desperately, trying to find enough money to buy that Excalibur, but he is like 40k short. Oh my god, he's under creeping Edge. Edge, get out of here. I don't need your stinking gear. I need this Excal right now.
Oh, the farm. I think the black shirt is where the money is from. But it's only selling at a quarter. So, wow.
Oh my god, the Stardust Rod too.
Yeah, this is
everything must go.
Yes, all sales final, like as they say it. So, except in this game, that might be a corset.
Oh my god,
that's
so expensive as it should be.
That's the problem. The thing you should be really attempting is going to the moon, do like a siren, get the incredible amounts of money. I understand why it's business, but you can't. The funny thing is you can't excel like elixirs. You can buy them for quite a bit. Like I don't know what the price is. It's like 30. It's like 30,000, 300,000 in free enterprise, but it's like a discount. But
I saw that pause, like Tybalt paused for like a second before selling the strength thing. Like, am I really gonna do this? I'm really doing this. So I really want the Excalibur bad enough, but he already committed to it. He has to go with the gamble. In the Discord, I will say this. His display name is Tybalt the Gambler, and he has gambled everything on the Excalibur. Let's see if it pays off. The forged weapon has to be a hammer first thing for it to really, go for this gamble to really go on Tybalt's side. Because if you get the Gigant Axe, it's the same as an X-Skull, or even better, for that you can slap on Cecil, so it's not that much of a change if possible were to get the Gigant Axe. But even then, if it's a hammer, then Tybalt has Cecil with the Excalibur and Cid with the hammer. But we'll see what happens.
I would say it's an interesting gamble. I just don't like the gamble. I think there are better ways of achieving the same result and getting better things down the line. Like, I just think, go find Darkness Crystal, just do one fight with a siren. You immediately get enough money, more or less. You can sell whatever necessary, and vanilla.
Yeah, but you have to find the Darkness Crystal first, and now you have the Pang, and you have to do the whole Pang, and maybe it's up in top of tower or something, and it's a respectable gamble. It might not be something either of us will do. I certainly wouldn't do that. I appreciate my gear too much, but Tybalt is betting it on a single option, and that's and that's commendable. Meanwhile, I think Possum is doing the same thing, but here's the thing. Possum did a trip around the Sylph Cave and got all of these pretty decent gear from the Sylph Cave trap chest, and he can, reliably sell a bunch of stuff without unequipping his characters in order to get that Excalibur, which is real nice. I think he'll get there no problem.
They're looking for the last mile of under 100,000. Needs 6,000. It's gonna up there. It is.
I mean, yeah, that was a little too many backers, I'll say for sure. So that looked like 13 backers should be enough with a berserker caster.
They say, you can, it's like, when you donate maybe like a cup of coffee worth of cost, it's okay if you drink a few less Bacchus ones to get to your goal. That's okay.
Oh yeah, true.
So, 16 assumes that you have a whole berserker team full that doesn't have a white mage, and that's not the case. So this is
you do have Fusoya. So as long as you have Fusoya healing and cast.
Yeah, it's certainly something, and possible find out. Oh yeah, it's time to do vanilla pan. See, looks like Tybalt is doing egg grind because
Sorry.
Yeah,
should be totally. There we go.
So yeah, egg grind is happening. Possum, trying to think of what he's doing. He's trying to figure out. He's trying to get back to the underground and actually probably do the grind now. Just as Tybalt is already started. Oh no, pan. Oh, he's completing the pan, which is
indeed.
We still don't have the darkness crystals. So chasing pan. There's a few options on the table like chasing pan, and also completing Tower Babel from the underground side, which is still on the table. Keyless Tower, that the gamble many racers are reluctant to do, but at this point it is appealing, although Possum doing the pan check has opportunity for 2 key items. So this is for him, it's a calculated risk and probably different risk than Tybalt will be taking. So we'll see if that is. Keyless Tower, not a problem.
Yep. And the thing is that Darkness Crystal could be vanilla Darkness Crystal and could be in the sealed cave because G Warp isn't on. So there's that too. Are you gonna do it? Are you? I also don't think our racers have done Dwarf Castle. I don't think I will remember seeing that Odin.
They haven't. They haven't.
So
it's usually you want to check. You really want to check the flag for for the warp glitch, but not every runner values Dwarf Castle. I think I view Dwarf Castle for both fights more like the Baron Inn fight. They're really similar. It's just the only difference is how difficult they are and when you get the character. But they're effectively the same many runners don't unless it's a boss hunt. They don't really think much of Dwarf Castle for. Don't know the exact reason, but they're not fond of the back-to-back fights, really.
I mean, it's not only the back-to-back fights. There's quite a bit of fluff at the Dwarf Castle in the terms of the cutscenes. There's so many cutscenes at Dwarf Castle, so I understand. It's the same with Twin Harp, except it's a little faster because there's no dungeon you have to go down. But yeah, there's the dance behind the door, and there's the dance in the Crystal Hall, and then there's the creepy Coley hand. It's a lot to dredge through, but sometimes you gotta do it. And I do agree with your assessment of that. It's very similar to Yang. It's 2 bosses back to back. You get 1 character out of it, and you get 1 key item out of it. But the interesting part is that it's swapped. Like the first boss in Dwarf Castle is much nastier, and the second boss has low stats and HP. But in Baron it's the other way around. It's really interesting now that you point it out.
Tybalt found Blarg at the best spot to find Blarg in. Dark Imp spot, Super Cannon, lowest HP spot. That was a breeze, especially when you have Angry Cecil swinging it away. So no problems there. this Yang, we can't cheat here. I'm pretty sure this free no bosses. We'll find out really quickly because there's a sequence where you need. I think it's before the third kick happens. Where that window of free where Yang wakes up immediately from a Cecil swing, and it has to be Paladin Cecil, not DK Cecil.
Being a free, thankfully, is not on. I am not that mean. So he should get ouched right after this swing, I believe. Or not.
It's fine. He's got Cecil's strong enough. It's no big deal.
Yeah, he can solo this fight. Yeah, bye. That was funny. No, Cecil, you gotta wake me up. No, Schmack.
That Gungnir probably will be only used as a dart, I think, at this point. I think we've seen all our characters. Have we seen all the characters? I think we've seen...
Except the Lunar Dias. We haven't seen the Lunar character.
I was saying like the number of distinct characters. Like, do we have...
we have 8?
I mean, Yang is not in either party, and I'm trying to think of any other characters that we haven't.
No, it's only Yang and this 5, so we're missing 2.
So it's Moon character, both there's Moon character and the Giant character.
And the Giant, oh my goodness! Citizen strikes again.
It's fine. Well,
yeah. Do you know, originally in like season 1, this was a C maybe. I got really burned on C maybe in the first season. Our veterans racers from this club might tell you. Oh yeah, package is also a character check. Cool.
Yeah, that's well, we haven't picked that up. So, but also not a fun check. At least Sand Ruby is a more favorable check, and it's all I remember was it was a twin, but we not confirmed which twin. So yeah,
I believe someone in chat said it was a Palom.
So yeah, that doesn't.
I do that. Okay, so
that's free.
It seems that it's in vanilla location. The Darkness Crystal is. Love it.
See, why don't people just go the back door? I think maybe I have to do the math in my head. I feel like doing Dwarf Castle, at least with the strength at this point, is much quicker than a complete trek through the sealed cave.
Yeah, but this is a gamble because, yes, it's much faster to go in and out of Dwarf Castle, but it's not much faster going down and picking the item here. Since there is no boss check, it's even faster that way. You just go down here, you pick the key item. If it's something you're not interested in, you bail, and that's knowledge you have.
I think at this point, it is actually where it has to be. I think they've done both checks.
Not the Dwarf Castle. It could be Dwarf Castle still.
Oh, that's just. But that makes Dwarf Castle a better choice. You have 2 key items effectively.
It's only a better choice if it's the right choice. Do you know what I mean? This could be it right here.
But what if it's not here? Well, okay,
there you go. People made the right choice. It's just the slightly slower choice.
But if that is true, but there's the other choice. If say the dwarf part is the other part of the forge, then it's a better choice. You have
but you don't know that. But you don't know that the forge could be on the moon, which has 7 key item checks. That's more statistically probable. You know what I mean? It's all about making the decisions and choices with the information you have. Weighting risk, reward, and time spent committed with time, that you might win or you might lose. Because if you do like Tippled and you check this first and it's not a key item you want, you reset out and then you do Dwarf Castle anyways. But if it is like just happened, then Possum might think you're thinking and go, oh, I'll do Dwarf first, that's faster, and then get a song or something that's not the Darkness Crystal. So he has to do Sealed Cave anyways, and that's a win for Tybalt in terms of time over pausing. You know what I mean? It's an interesting choice. I think he's the gambler.
I'm saying that in this instance, because you want the item cave, we're not doing a boss hunt. If we do a dwarf castle, we are doing a 2-for-1. We are getting the item, whether or not it's the right one is fine. If warp glitch wasn't on, if the warp glitch, then we have to do sealed cave regardless. So this is like you can do both at the same time using the warp glitch. You get 2 items for the price of one event. Where doing the sealed cave is a singular event, and if the other part of Forge is here, we have both, and we're in go mode right then and there.
Yeah, but regrettably, no warp glitch this time. It's just interesting routing choices that you can do. That's one of the great Chin things about this randomizer, is that you can approach each seed in so many different ways. I think it's wonderful seeing how each different player tackles each challenge and its routing decision in a different way. That's one of my favorite things of like watching this randomizer.
Oh, I missed that warp glitch wasn't on, so I guess it's fine. No, it's fine. I was about to say if it was on, then
yeah. If it's on, dwarf is the obvious choice, but it wasn't on, so it became more of a nuanced decision.
It's a toss up.
Yep.
So I would definitely do sealed cave first. But Azura, it would have been interesting if Possum, as soon as finding the pink tail, did the same thing Tybalt did, is cash it in immediately. Then this Azura fight would be trivialized quite a bit. So, but doesn't really matter. Still required objective. Not a big deal though, at least.
Yeah, I can respect that the warrant decision of no, I'm not doing this. I'm doing this later. I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna make the trip twice. Like, safety is a real strat, and it's a nuanced decision that you have to make. Of I come back here later, do the dungeon twice, basically. Like do the walking distance twice or not.
I think so. And that was a quick Odin.
Yeah.
We'll find out if it was worth it. It's hard to tell. Depends on literally what we get. There's let me see the gated items. The only thing that might be gating would be like the rat tail, just as the last kind of gating key item. Like, it's basically a key item for the key item, and outside of that, there isn't much to look for. And see, there it is.
Moon's Haunted. You have to do both of them anyways. The big, we spent like I don't know, like 3 hours talking about Sealed Cave, Dwarf Castle. It didn't matter. You had to do both of them.
See, that's the power of the randomizer. It has its own story to tell, and then
I know, right?
Because the right answer is what the randomizer says it is.
Yup. There are no bad choices. It's only choices that pan out and choices that don't pan out. And the moment of truth, the moment we have been all waiting for, what Forge is it gonna be?
Wow, that was the worst. That was the worst shot.
Let's go Thor hammer. It's not the fiery hammer, but it's close enough.
But I like free new. But Thor's hammer.
I know.
Thor's hammer's fine. I think from terms of hammers, the Earth hammer is about this. It's stronger than like the fire sword. They have like the same attack power, I think. But it has bonus strength, but the hammer is fine.
You might be misremembering, because Thor hammer has 190 attack power.
Oh no, yeah, I was saying the Earth hammer. The Thor's hammer.
Yeah. I misunderstood.
The Earth hammer, that's his best hammer in vanilla.
Yeah, in vanilla, and it has 65. and one aspect of the Thor hammer that is, underrated is that it has the best AoE you can cast with a weapon. It casts a blast, which is super powerful, and it's great for mid-time enemies. Oh wow! Right, Tybalt and Possum got to pass at the Avalon Cave. We get to do the thing. We see the flags in the chat, and they tell us to ask the question: are you gonna do the honors, Deathlik?
Sure. But I thought nap time was later. But no, it's not that time. The question we all have to ask, because Zeromus, he endgame boss, can't move him because it's a little more complicated than usual. But this is a randomizer, and we like seeing Zeromus dress up because cosplay is Zeromus's thing.
Yep.
There's nothing that can't be said anywhere else. But the question must be asked is, whose butt are we going to kick today, this afternoon? And we'll find
this
out.
This time zone.
Yes, it's if even if it's afternoon here, it might be night somewhere or someone else's morning. Time zones. Hard to conceptualize sometimes.
Oh my goodness, did Possum not do Dwarf Castle right away? Oh no, Possum is going straight for the moon. Oh goodness.
The thing is, it's a low probability that
it's like we talked. The moon has 7 key item checks that for you, like waiting for you, it's statistically probable. But meanwhile, Tybalt is fighting Darth Vader with a nice lightsaber and everything. Hey, chill out. Wait, where is this from? The Super Nintendo video game or what?
I think there definitely probably was a Super Nintendo.
Yep, confirmed. The Super Nintendo, what was it? Empire Strikes Back or whatever it's called. The
Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back or something. It's probably based off of one of the movies, or the remakes. Anyways, it has a Darth Vader, and because how can't you have Darth Vader?
Yup. So nerfing the first Big Bang with the Silk Web and using I believe that he is Tybalt, despite the Thor hammer, has opted to use Cid as an anchor, and instead has sets up swinging for 5k a pop real fast.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, really, Cecil is gonna do the work. The only thing that's and Palom, well, since not learning Nuke, would have required a longer grind that would, especially in a race, probably may not be worth it. Wow, that's a cheeky play. That's not.
Yeah, that is part of the meta objective, which was using Kamikaze on Ceramus. I mean, it's better if you defeat Ceramus with it, but that's good enough. I like it.
It's a nice swag kill, but with the Berserker party, it'd be harder to kind of time it perfectly. So.
Oh my goodness, is he gonna do it again? Is Tybalt gonna burst? Tybalt gonna Kamikaze again? Yes, he's gonna do it again. I love this man.
I think we'll probably want to wait till Rock's phase to even think about it. Right? Not quite there yet.
We might not even see Rock with how fast Cecil is swinging. Meanwhile, on Possum's side, he has found Golbez at the Bahamut spot, which is real nice because Golbez does not punch, so he only casts spells. So that's a pretty non-threatening spot to be in, thankfully.
Yep, the Bahamut spot is deceptively weaker in spell power. Bahamut does have the blog spell Mega Nuke. The thing is, the spell is powerful, but the spell multiplier is not as high as one would have hoped.
Yeah. It's a super powerful spell by default, right? So the devs were kind enough to lower the spell power of the spot. It's the same in the Crystal Sword Altar where Wyvern is, and that's GG's on Tybalt. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think Tybalt wanted to do swag rocks, but Cecil's like, no thanks. Let me swing a few more times. So
We will be joining by people in an interview anytime now. And here we have Tybalt the Gambler. What's up, Tybalt? Great race. GG's. You might be muted.
No, I'm not.
No, there you are.
Yeah, GG's.
That was a cheeky seed, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, wow, go mode like Jet, but
Yeah,
you know, you get an Earth Crystal,
Moon
Twin
Haunted,
Heart.
Moon was so haunted. Your rival Posomorpheus has decided to do the statistically more probable play of going to the moon and ignoring Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You get darkness, and I was thinking to myself, like, knowing Possum, if Possum found the darkness crystal early, that means he's gonna go to the moon because we've got Fu, we've got an adamant armor. Moon's easily doable. I gotta do something to counter him.
Well, your meta play on your rival did pay. It paid off this time. Congratulations. You sound exhausted. Are you okay?
I am shaking right now.
Wow.
I didn't get the swag kill on Z, but I mean, I did double kamikaze.
You did do double kamikaze. I was really pleased with that. Thank you.
that was more than the seed asked for.
Indeed.
Were you panicking on trying to sell the farm for the XCal? That was a mad. I need to find something to sell moment.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. I have a line on an X-Gal. I have a Cecil with Zeus Gauntlet Power Shirt and Avenger. I want that X-Gal. I'm not gonna shop anywhere else for a Crystal Sword. Give me that X-Gal. I know where it is. I just need the money. And I didn't care who I had to ditch for equipment. Edge, give me your full moon. Give me your black belt. Give me everything you have. I don't care.
I mean, when you have a character with such a power spike as Cecil, well, every other person taking turns is like wasted time that he could be having swinging. It's kind of weird, but yeah.
That's why when it was like I was doing dwarf, I did the tower, and I did the Luke. I'm like, there's no point of rezzing everybody up. Just let Cecil hit things.
I guess so. So, well, I was ranting and raving about Jiang the entire seed. Moment you got that cat claw at Evelyn Castle, I was like, oh, if you find another cat claw, that makes Jiang so much better than Edge. But was Jiang ever in your calculations?
No.
Oh, well.
No, really. No, me and Yang go way back. Yeah, Charm Claws are great. You know, they give 3 agility. They're great. They mess up anchors. It's wonderful.
Oh, come on. Cut claws are so... Double cut claw Yang is so good. And you had like 2 power... what is it? No, 2 gauntlets. What are you gonna use it on? Edge? Punching?
Oh, yeah. I mean, with Yang, yeah, he needs levels and, you know, strength boosting gear. Cat Claw gives that. However, you have an Edge. I had a full moon, and I'm probably gonna pick up something else later for her, maybe a longsword, mute knife, which is what I had. I'm like, Edge is just functionally better. You get the spoon to dart. If you Avenger glitch the X-Cal, you get the X-Cal to dart. Yang can't do that.
No, but then you sold everything Edge had. I mean, Edge was like real sad, and I was so sad because I could have been Yang, and I was like, oh, it's okay. I'm just sassing you.
Just like sell the farm, give me that X-Cal, and I'm like, there's some of the stuff I don't want to get rid of, but I need to.
Well, it paid off in the end, so good job.
That +5 strength ring wasn't going to make the biggest of difference. You could let it go.
It could be a multiplier.
I saw that like second. You paused for a second on the cell. Yes, on the strength ring. I was like, oh, this is hurting Tibble. This is hurting Tibble real bad.
Like, so I'm getting rid of stat boosting gear here. I don't want to. Like, protect rings are great. Crystal ring, I don't want to sell it. I want to keep it.
Oh, it did pay off. So GG's, congratulations. So, any other words about that seed, or you know?
We'll talk about it. Like after just selling the farm, I felt behind.
Huh.
Because spending so much time doing all that shopping, I felt extremely behind. Knowing Possum being able to do Foo and Friends, solo Foo with an admin, you can't give the guy any room at all.
I see. That's why you were like panting and wheezing, because you were like playing your mind out with Possum. I mean, guy's good at the game. What can you do?
And I'm sitting there, I spent so long doing that. I'm like, and he snipes me 50-50.
He does snipe you.
And I'm sitting there in the Z fight, just don't do it, Possum. Don't do it. Don't snipe me. Don't do it.
Well, no sniping this time. Mo was haunted. Good for you. So, too bad this seed wasn't objective themes, right?
No. Right? You saw
well.
everything.
In the overworld.
So I kind of regretted that healing up before doing Baron Castle. It's just like, oh, hi, it's Ogo Pogo. Oh, bye, Cecil.
Well, yeah. So, GG's again, Tybalt. Any last thoughts before we let you go?
Oh, thanks for joining the restream, the commentary. We do the racing, but you gotta have something to commentate it. So definitely thanks for that. Hopefully I'll learn something. I do enjoy watching these back, and it's always a fun time listening to the comments.
Yeah. And thanks to you for joining. I'll chat you up later. I mean, we'll see if Possum doesn't do something weird.
Oh, Possum will get the extra points. He's that good.
Well, we'll see. GG's again, Tybalt, and take care. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye. So, in Possum Orpheus' side, we have the legendary Reborn Room Old Gauntlet, with 2 triggers for your viewing pleasure. Again, if you had Yang with a lightning claw, you could punch this thing into oblivion. He's weak against thunder. He's telling you. I don't know why he does it. He's just telling you over and over again, hey, I'm weak. I'm weak against thunder. No, on the only thing that counters the thunder is a lightning 3, I believe, or like a lightning spell in general.
Yeah, I mean, you could go that route or punch him, or my favorite.
Oh my god!
Doing it for fun, because why not? See, because
Possum, I think wanted to like swag kill him with a like lead 2 or something, but he just got. It's my turn now. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Possum, what did you do? Well, he's got adamant.
It's fine.
This guy. Can't believe this guy. I forget how absolutely brutal Tricker's like just script is.
Yeah, Tricker spell power is essentially essentially what CPU spot or what was it? Ogo spot level spell power. So
oh boy,
that hurts. That's why. You rarely cast Lightning 3 on that many characters. But you know, when you have more than like even what a character can usually cast, that is, you see much bigger numbers than you're used to.
Yeah. So yeah, I have I have the trigger script here in the wiki, and indeed, condition 1 is target all characters cast lit 3. That's all he does. It's he has no. You know how in some scripts he has like, oh, do nothing. You know, oh, do this. Like wait a second and then attack. No, that's all he does. That's all he does. Just like stab you over and over and over again. And he has 66 speed, which is obscenely fast.
Trigger is the modern day come at me, bro. That's what that's the trick. That's the you don't have to play the game. That's as they say. So that's but I mean, it's easy character to kill, but also the worst character to fall into the trick. So
indeed. Possum defeating the free King Queen Evelyn and getting a Dragoon armor as a reward. Oh boy, Possum. You know, we know this is not progression. We know this is not gonna lead to Go mode because, you know, people already did it. But that doesn't mean that Possum Morpheus isn't doing an incredibly good showing of skill and finesse in traversing this, you know, this lunas of terrain. His movement and execution is, you know, extremely good. He's really good.
Yeah, you know, like I would be one of the like not every seed where I would think like in this seed if I were running it, I would probably try to do everything before going to the moon. Like people are, you know, if you're like a younger runner, like you started running this, you're more likely to say, if I can avoid the moon, I'll do everything I can to do that.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what Tibble picked, and he was rewarded for that. Possum is more like, I can take the moon. Just give me the moon. There's no problem. No big deal. I will fade that that spot because what's the chances that it could possibly be? And you know, those are both two equally valid propositions. You know, but you know, I'm more for trying to get the seed ended as quickly as possible. So if that Dwarf Castle is a shortcut, I'll try it, and then then I'm still kind of doomed to clear out the LST of the moon and whatnot. Possum is now thinking, so I have to do the wyvern. Do I want to take a look at the wyvern spot, or do I? Which looks like what he's doing, or you know, cashing in the rat tail, hoping for the adamant rock, which we clearly know it's not the case. So
it's like you make a choice, because here in the moon we have like 6-7 key item checks so close to each other behind what a little walk and a tiny cutscene. And so many checks, and Dwarf Castle is only one check, so it's like it's 1 out of 8. I think it's the chances, so not a lot. So it makes total sense that he went ahead and did the lunar play, even if it's not, you know, not gonna pay out. But you make choices, and sometimes they pay off, and sometimes they don't. That's just the nature of the randomizer.
I think what is kind of hurting Possum to some degree is, like, you know, K-Moon is on, and we found the rat tail on the moon, and that's about the only key item on the moon which would normally be relevant, but obviously for the seed has no actual value. So having K-Moon kind of makes Possum's decision different. Like if K-Moon wasn't on, then the only decision that would have to be made would be, it's gotta be here. It's gotta be Dwarf Castle. So it'd be like, if K-Moon was on, so it'd be you'd probably just get the rat. You would probably get the rat tail instead of the adamant rock, and then rat tail into adamant, and you'd be done with the seed, because that's how the randomizer would have to have done it.
Yeah, so. Exactly. But with K-Moon on, there is a pretty decent chance that the rock you're looking for is, you know, right here. And Possum is saying, okay, I'm done with this place. Heck this place. I'm leaving, never to return. hopefully, he will go do Dwarf Castle next. I think he did Murasame. Yeah, I think he did Mura first. That's where he got the magma key. He's completely done with the moon. This man cleared the moon so incredibly fast. The level, the equipment, the expertise at handling, the execution. It's a joy watching Possum play this video game.
I think it's like what 10 minutes. I think it started like
Oh,
at the
power
start.
shirt.
Yeah, that's nice. Not what Possum's looking for, but it's nice.
Hey.
So I mean, from the interview to like now, it's like 10 minutes. So Possum, it was brutally efficient.
Yeah.
You can like this. There are times when you like you're not at an optimal, where you at least feel you're not at an optimal level, to take on a certain spots, especially the moon. And you only really need like to reach a certain level. Like obviously everyone's different. You want to like figure out what level, usually dictated by your mages or by something that you want to kind of key up on and just kind of practice and just pick a level that makes sense to just say, hey, this is the level I need to be on. Like, so and usually the levels like say the level that Rosa learns Cure for. That's a usual.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That's usually pretty reasonable, and you can, and I think in most cases you should be able to take on the moon. If you're a gambler like Tybalt, maybe you can get away with like level 30 and hope for a free boss. That those basically, so things that require a little bit of help, so maybe you take on something like the Murazam altar. It's usually a one-off altar that most runners don't go back the way they came from, and just take that on the boss and hope it's an easy enough boss to deal with, get the XP, and then feel comfortable moving forward on the lunar subterranean. So
that's one of my favorite plays. It's like going to the moon, checking Bahamut spot, because you can see the sprite. Gather information. If it's free, you can take on it. And same with Murasame is right there. It's so fast checking that spot, and sometimes it's something with an hourglass coughing can do. Shoutouts to Pastamorpheus for dropping the hovercraft in the underground. Fun fact: the overworld and the underground and the moon are actually the same map, like in memory. So even though you drop the hovercraft in the underworld, if you were to go to the same tile in the overworld, you will not be able to park the Enterprise on the same tile, even though the hovercraft is in the underground. It's the funniest thing.
Game is coded perfectly. There is no problem.
you gotta save space. What are you gonna do? Have 3 wall mats when one with different tile sets is gonna do the job just fine? Makes total sense. But here's Pastamorpheus is going to get his adamant rug and go ahead straight to Cerberus, because oh boy, this party is real powerful.
Yeah, at this point it's power overwhelming. I think Palom has learned Nuke, so that will save some time. And actually,
not only that,
you could do some interesting things.
Edge found like Mura, like Murasame on the moon, I believe, or Masa, something like that. So Edge is gonna be real strong. You have power shirts, you have Sus gauntlets, you have Nuke, you have 2 Nuke casters. Cerberus, I will be shocked if he even gets 1 Big Bang off, honestly.
I think it'll be probably just the initial Big Bang and call it a day.
You don't even have to anchor Cid. You can have him swinging too.
Yeah. There are seeds where when you don't have to think about the anchoring, where you have power overwhelming, anchoring is just an afterthought, and there's less things to worry about. You just let the automated berserkers do their job, and everything will be pretty straightforward. There's no thinking. It's that much better.
Indeed. Oh, wait, hold on. He's carrying the hovercraft around. Thank you so much, Pastor Morpheus. I appreciate you. You're a wonderful, wonderful man.
I mean, this is punishment for not for fading for effectively the last locationing this. So it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. No water. You can hover through the water.
Yeah. The river. Oh man, the river. You almost had it, Possum.
Actually, where would he even land the thing? You have to have open land. You cannot land. You can't. First of all, move into forests. You have to land. So, I don't think you would have any place to land that actually, or at least not in the closest convenient spot at the very least.
Let me take another eye at Troya. Oh, here we go. Thor hammer, power shirt, crystal ring. Let's go, Cid. No, indeed, no place to land it. Dang, you're right.
Yeah, I remember like the whole place is littered with forests. So forests block the hovercraft. Who thought?
My master plan.
Yeah, who thought?
Foiled.
Who thought? Pieces of wood would stop a hovercraft. You can go through small rocks, but no, pieces of wood. Nope. And Possum will obviously make that trip because hey, who wants to take another 5-minute walk into the LST to do that? No,
not him, for sure.
Disinterested? I would be disinterested. If you have the pass, clear the LST, never come back. You can stay haunted, please.
Let's see how long this fight lasts. I'm looking at the timer.
What? I'm thinking.
I'm thinking
5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes.
I'm guessing.
I'm thinking like 3 minutes or something. I mean, bro. Okay, right. This little intro sequence. That's fair. I forgot about it.
There's a whole. It's everything. You have to factor in all the shaking. No.
Yeah, all the shaking. This speed probably takes longer than the actual fight.
It's like what 30 seconds to a minute. You have to see the messages. It goes at speed. It feels like
30 seconds.
Independent speed, yeah. And then the reveal. No, he's not your father. Sorry.
No, none of these people are related. Sorry. Early Nick, go too fast. There needs like a grace period. Zeromus needs his turn, so that's why Nuke disappeared into nothingness. Yeah, he needs to take like one tick after revealing his form to remove the invincibility that the first phase had, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's there's like a flag that sets invincibility, and Zeromus has to take the turn.
Yeah,
it's kind of like elements where they before their attributes are set, they need to take a turn. So it's one of those things.
Arty Ninja, let's go. Reflect nuke. Oh, it's always so satisfying whenever the counter nuke is reflected. Oh wait, no, that was a direct nuke.
That was a reflected nuke. That was Palom got straight.
Yes.
That hurt.
Big Bang, nerfed by the Cid wave. There's the big dart. Well, relatively big. Ninja swords are kind of, they're ninja weapons. They're weak alone. But Cecil swinging. Come on, make Cid swing. I think he's there. It is. There's the attack. Come on. Yeah. 4.7k. Don't stage you love to see it.
Yeah, I think the fun thing about Cid, this is all about him. He has the highest critical hit rate chance of any character in the game. It's not as useful until you give him a bow and arrow, we do have the Thor's hammer, but if Cid was required to use like Artemis, arrows, and bow, a crit dealt is incredible because it's scaled quite a bit. Bow and arrow has increased critical hit chance, so that helps Cid quite a bit. And so I think it kind of increases critical hit rate to like 5%, which is it's something.
Cool.
It's a nice. It's actually tangible compared to many other characters. If you see,
That's awesome.
yeah. So when you see Cid and he crits, it's because he crits naturally really well. So that, and bow and arrow natural kind of conducive to adding more critical hit chance and doing quite a bit of damage from that. So it looks like Possum is gonna do the thing.
He's gonna do the thing. All of this info, by the way, is right in the wiki that we have for Free Enterprise, full of both vanilla and randomizer knowledge, and stats and algorithms and stuff. There's the kamikaze. Is it gonna be enough? Indeed.
Oh, sweat kill.
There's the crumble skip. And Possum Morpheus is done with a time of 1 hour 52 minutes 6 seconds. GG's Possum. He's gonna be joining us for an interview shortly.
Do you see Explode from the Cid point of view? I think it looked like just the spell dispel. Like it's like a kind of a circle and it kind of swirls on the character.
Really weird.
Yeah.
But it was red. I don't think the spell is red.
It's not red, but I'm saying the visual, like the motion of what was happening was more like dispel. That was because I don't. Because I've seen dispel.
That is just like kamikaze. I think that's just kamikaze. I think it's just
no, it's just no, it's it. But maybe it's the spell. I just remember Explode being like the enemy. This like kaboom, like kind of one explosion from emanating from the character and just onto the target, and those were fun.
Yup. As soon as Possum Morpheus is ready, he's gonna be joining us on the here in the booth. But oh man, what a seed! Hello, Possum Morpheus. How are you doing? That was a seed, huh?
I mean, that's a good seed if you play it right.
I mean, yeah, that seed wanted to be played a certain way, and you had to do it the way this wanted. That's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely had some, I guess, missed approaches to it. Should have been more aggressive buying Cecil things. I don't think I'm ever doing Dwarf after picking up that Darkness Crystal, so me and Dwarf still not on talking terms. Geot with the ladder and Dwarf existing, just kind of a thing right now. So it was fun though. Wish we would have gotten a Fiery Hammer, but Thor's Hammer is still good.
Yeah, I saw you giving. I got so excited when I saw you giving Cid not only the Thor hammer, but the power shirt and the crystal ring. I was like, yeah, he's gonna swing. I think he only bonked Servus like once, but
He
that
hit once
was all I needed.
He hit once for 4,752 damage, and I was impressed by that.
What a good boy. I saw you selling just about almost everything in order to buy that Excalibur. Was that a goal from the moment you saw it, or was like that, or was that a decision you made later?
No, the goal was actually to do trap chests and find a holy sword for Cecil, and then spend all the money on consumables like Bacchus and Sirens, Hourglasses, Coffins, which would have been great if any semblance of a holy sword showed up anywhere in all of the trap chests I did. All of Sylph was a bust. Warriors was a bust. Eblin was a bust. The Mad Ogres was a bust. Like, I didn't leave a whole lot left, but no holy swords. So, you figure out a plan kind of a couple minutes before the seed, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And today, the plan did not work, and it be like that sometimes. That's Rando in a nutshell. So you can't win them all.
Yeah. In fact, we had like Tybalt in an interview earlier, and he was like, "Oh, I made a game Possum, and I thought I knew he was gonna do the moon, so I did Dwarf Castle." I was like, "Well, good job."
He's right. If I get a Darkness Crystal there, and you can peek the key item from Luca before having to actually fight anything. So yeah, Darkness shows up there. The warp glitch is off. I'm not touching Dwarf.
You,
so Tybalt's on that.
you live in your truth. You play the game the way you like to play the game. And sometimes it Cid cooperates and sometimes it doesn't. So
Yep.
I stable this, but I saw that Cod Claw at Airline Castle, and I got so excited because there wasn't really any good edge equipment until the very end. I was like, oh, you find a shop that says the Cat Claw, and that's double Cat Claw Yang for the end game. And I got so excited. Was Yang ever in your plans or in your in the
No,
back of your mind or something?
no. Um,
Oh,
so we saw ninja swords for sale, and
yes.
so I figured worst case scenario, I'll find a holy sword and then use my money to buy ninja swords. Turned out to be the other way around. As Sylph had all of the ninja weaponry, the Masa, 2 ninja swords, and other stuff, but no holy sword. So I ended up kind of flipping the script there. It was about 60,000 gold more than I expected to have to spend, but that was kind of the thought process behind that. Was I'll figure it out between the two of them with the trap chests I'm going to do. I know it's T Pro. I know the odds aren't great, but figure you do enough of them, stuff's going to show up. Maybe even an adamant armor, rears its head. No, there were no tier 8s in any of the trap chests anywhere. So, it is what it is. But yeah, Yang never part of it with this. I think
I say.
if maybe like Edge and Cecil were not available and it was a bunch of mages, I'd probably pair Yang with like a Rosa Palom and a Fu or something. Just since I'd be jamming a bunch of sirens anyway at that point. But with Cecil and with Edge, and with Cid eventually getting some sort of ridiculously good weapon, just go that route. Make it Zerkers, make it easy.
Makes sense. I totally understand where you're coming from with that. So, did you have any other, things I want to say about this experience?
No, just in general, always love the club that you put on Alchemy, and thank you to you and Deathlike for what I'm sure are amazing comms. Thank you, Darth Plagal, for pushing the buttons, and Scala for doing the behind the scenes work. So just really appreciate everyone, and hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks a lot, Possum. GG's again, and we'll see you next time.
And thank you, and GG's again to Tybalt and Scythe. Very well done to both.
GG's Possum, and GG's to Tybalt for blazing through the seed quicker.
Yup. But that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. That's it for Free Enterprise in this channel, because we have a pretty active community, and the Free Enterprise doesn't stop. We're gonna be raiding Toll Grant, who is doing some practice ahead of a marathon called Multi-Thong or Multi-Thong. Do you know English? It's weird. And he's also doing some Trojan Tango, which is our 2v2 club. That's right. You can play Free Enterprise cooperatively. Just check our Discord. It's good. Promise. There's a link in chat. And next stream is gonna be Monday night community race at, I believe, 8 p.m. EST.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Easterns. Yeah, on Monday. I'm sure some new flag sets will appear that obviously duplicated between Monday and Friday, so that's awesome. And Torrent Tech, I should probably catch one of those, the 2v2s of those. That's a interesting thing where you communicating what you want to do with your teammate to beat the other team. I think it's like the average or something. But the team is doing it faster. That's always a different change of pace to like a normal race.
Many ways of playing for Enterprise, and we'll be leaving you with Tolgrand for that. Thanks a lot, everyone, and have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all next seed.